Alright, listen to this. It's 2013, Dougie's playing on the radio, you got on your new red skinny jeans, your Chicago Bulls snapback, and you got a shirt on with this iconic face on it. For the younger people, and you'd have to be very young to not recognize this face, this is Obey. Born out of complete luck, Obey, in the early 2010s, was in the top 5 streetwear brands in the country. In today's video, we're looking at how one street artist turned his movement into one of the most recognizable faces in the fashion world in the last decade, and how the brand slowly died after that. The story starts with this guy.
My name is Shepard Fairey.
Shepard Fairey was a young man from Rhode Island attending design school in the city while working at a skate shop. To make some money on the side, he was making some homemade t-shirts with rock bands and skateboard company logos on them. So, he made millions of t-shirts, sold them, and became super rich. Thanks for watching. Peace out. I'm just kidding. It's much more complicated than that. This all happened in 1989, and Obey wasn't even created until 2001. A lot happened during the 10 years, so let's get into it. Before anything, you know the drill though. Subscribe, like, and comment on the video. Shepard Fairey did not have any intentions to create a clothing brand, or even the Obey logo back then. He was, like many young men in the 90s, a big fan of skateboarding and a pseudo-rebel. It is while working at his job that he was approached by one of his friends who wanted to learn how to make stencils. He took a newspaper from the desk and saw a picture of Andre the Giant and made a stencil out of it. Quick history. Andre the Giant was a French 7'4", 520-pound iconic wrestler who was extremely popular during the 70s and 80s, but he unfortunately passed away at the age of only 46 due to a heart attack right after attending the funeral of his father. This story is very sad, and I'll leave a link to it in the description for anybody interested. Alright, back to our story now. Shepard Fairey ended up making a lot of stencils of Andre the Giant with his face on it and started to sticky it anywhere he could around campus and throughout the city. While it didn't really hold any special meaning, it quickly became this underground thing in the skateboarding community. People went as far as creating meaning for it. It became so popular that people started to approach him to buy them. All of this made Shepard understand something, and that is that if a poster does not look like an obvious advertisement, it's going to grab the attention of people pretty easily. He decided to make a bigger poster. He made a quick fix onto the picture of Andre the Giant for copyright reasons and plastered them all over the city as a way of promoting himself because, before anything, Shepard wanted to be an artist and he wanted the recognition. After watching the sci-fi movie They Live, he came up with the name Obey. He created more posters with Obey on them and sold them around. Soon enough, his stickers were all over the states, and up until 2001, they were just street arts and stickers, and Shepard wasn't really making money from it. In 2001, though, he started selling skateboards with his logo on them, and not long after he moved to clothes. Slowly but surely, the brand took off. But then suddenly in the 2010s, the brand became iconic. This was the perfect time with the bright color, the peak of pop music. You had to be there. This was the swag era, my favorite fashion era. So, what happened to Obey? How did Obey go from a street movement to the mainstream and to basically its death? You can find it resting at your local PacSun. Jokes aside, the main reason for the downfall of Obey was that it became mainstream. What does this look like to you? Both Shepard Fairey and James Jebbia, president of Supreme, were inspired by the same artist, Barbara Kruger, which they both stole from. But that's a story for another day. Obey was seen as more of a replacement for Supreme, who was very hard to get. You had to be in the line for hours or catch a drop online. Obey, on the other hand, was everywhere, in every store and every mall. To meet the demand, they dropped the street art and went with the blend designs like this, and soon enough it lost its fan base who thought of it as a sellout. Shepard's argument was that he did not believe in exclusivity. Unlike brands like Supreme or Bape, scarcity keeps trending for years. He thought his work should be available to anybody that wants it. Obey still made tons of cash, and it funded Shepard's artist career, so yeah. Today the brand still exists, and funny enough, it is what killed it that's keeping him alive, stores like PacSun and Urban Outfitters. In 2018, the brand tried a comeback, which ended up being a flop, and I personally believe that the brand is definitely done for. While the brand itself tanked, Shepard Fairey, on the other, became an accomplished artist. He painted the iconic Obama Hope poster, the Mandela mural in South Africa, and the infamous Marianne who sits in the office of the French president. He was involved in a lot of activism and humanitarian work. He did a lot of that while managing to be arrested almost 20 times for his street work. I watched a couple of interviews he did recently, and he does not even talk about Obey nor try to promote it. I guess in the end, he got what he wanted, which was to be an artist. So, hope you liked the video. Thanks for the support. I'll see you next week with another one. See ya.